There is no way in hell I could pay $50,000 just to hear somebody tell me things are going to get better. Come up with a plan. Here's a template. No way. No way. We're the Impact League. We're coming after you. We're coming for you. If you're in business and you're serious about your craft, relinquish all those other memberships and get into the league. I am so excited today. I am talking to not only one of my best friends, but one of the most brilliant women I know. She's fearless. She's a 2-time cancer survivor. And the beautiful thing is she is living and transferring a legacy business. She's going to tell you a little bit about her dad. We're going to talk a little bit about the Impact Zone and the Impact League and why we are coming together to do this and her area of expertise. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Joanne English-Rollison, and she's out of Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. So Joanne, take it over. Tell them a little bit about yourself and what can they expect from you.
Hi, Twyla. How are you? I am pleased and happy to be a part of your Impact League. You know, I'm always happy to share my story because my father started this business of real estate about 72 years ago. And
Wow.
I am actually the third generation because his father was a builder and then he became a builder and a realtor. And then I'm the third generation and then my son would be the fourth generation. And I'm happy and proud to carry on his legacy. He was a builder. He was a strong man because he opened up a real estate office in the 50s when African Americans could not even open up an office. And he was responsible for selling, building, and putting people in homes that maybe never could have purchased if it wasn't for him. So I'm happy to be able to carry on his legacy. And I've been in the business now for 42 years, and I specialize in buying, selling, building, developing, and most importantly, negotiating. I think that's my strength. I started with first time home buyers and then I continued on and made celebrities and entertainment industry my niche market. So I actually love what I do and I'm happy to be able to place people in homes, whether it's a first time home buyer or $1 million estate. You know, I do it all. I'm just very happy to be able to make it happen for people. And one of the reasons why I'm able to make it happen is because as far as I'm concerned, my strongest skill is being able to make both parties feel like they've won. That's a specific skill. Is the person that's buying, the person that's selling, the contract that we're negotiating, it has to be a win-win situation. I just feel that being a people person and understanding personalities is a key to making it a win-win situation. So even with myself taking on my father's business, you know, his choice was to do first-time home buyers and people that could not really buy real estate. And I needed to take it to the next level. So in order to be able to take it to the next level, you know, you just have to have that knowledge of, you know, when it's hard, you know, when someone comes to you with a $1 million estate or something much larger, you have to know how to make that transition. Being a people person and understanding both sides allows you to bring things together to come to a medium which is acceptable by everybody. It's just
That's a unique talent. I want to pull on that thread a little bit because the Impact League is going to have a variety of people, right? It's similar
sure.
to what your dad did and you're doing, and I know Marco, your son, is doing. We're going to have people at a level where they really just don't know. I already know we got a couple of real estate people that are interested just getting their license, and I know we got a seasoned one that just don't know how to pivot in the midst of the crisis that they believe is a crisis right now. I believe it's an opportunity. I think we got a market that can be an opportunity for everybody if they know how to play it. So talk to me about how you work with people who just don't see some of the gems right in front of them when it comes to real estate.
Well, the most important part, Twyla, is educating them, you know, and having the knowledge. Um, you know, some people just want to talk and do. The key point here is just being educating. And, you know, when you're working with someone with experience, that's already some sort of education because of your experience. You're going to get educated just by being with experienced people. That's number one. So you have to have mentors. You have to be educated. I'm just thankful because my father was the master educator. Okay. He didn't play. So no, for real. You know, when I was 12 years old, you know the story. story. He made me buy my
Yeah.
own canopy beds. He told me if I wanted canopy beds, I had to buy them myself. And I'm like, Dad, I'm 12 years old. He says, well, you're going to get out here and you're going to work, and the money that you make will go towards your canopy bed. So it's just being around a strong mentor. And that's what I love about what you're doing, T. This is about strong mentors, people that have been there, done that, as far as
And
experience.
still
That's
doing
what,
it. And
and
still doing it.
still doing, and still doing. So education is the key, and connections and networking. Okay, that is the key. My father, even back in the day, he works amongst everybody,
Yep.
every nationality, so that he could know what others are doing. So that's a key point also. And
No,
I
I
teach my
love the
son the
fact,
same thing.
one of the things, yep, and the Impact League, which is beautiful, is starting off international. When you get on the platform, I intentionally did this because I speak a lot with Verizon. I'm blessed to have an ability to go national and speak about small business and small business readiness and making sure you're starting off right. I was in Canada and those women were thirsting for the same knowledge. So in the
Mhm.
platform, I've invited Canadians and US. So we start off global. So if Joanne wants to broker a deal now over the counter or the border, which might be just a referral, it can be done. And then
I
vice
love it.
versa, it can be done. And so the beautiful thing about leveling up, what I just heard you say is level up and level up your network. If you're the smartest person in the room, in your
Father of
network,
excellence.
you are in the wrong room.
That's right.
And if you don't know how to let go of some dead weight, Joe and I can tell you, we've carried some dead weight, either employees and family, some people just won't let go. That's going to hold you back. Because one girl that I talked to yesterday, she was like, "Well, I know it's similar to my 9 to 5." I said, "No, it's not. I don't think I've ever had a 9 to 5 in the last 28 years of being an entrepreneur. What about you?"
No, no. I don't think I've ever had a 9 to 5. My first purchase was when I was 19 years old. I bought my first house. I bought a four-family house for 60,000, and a year later, I sold that house for 120,000. So that was my turning point of what type of business I wanted to do. I wanted to be my own boss. I could not work for anybody. That's not my forte. When I found out that you could make that kind of money in a year, at 19 years old, that was my turning point. And that was my father teaching me to own real estate. Now he says, Joanne, back then he says, you got to buy property every year and continue to buy, because that's your wealth. And only thing I'm mad about is all the properties that I bought from when I was 19. I wanted that quick money, so I was selling them quickly. But
Right. You didn't
now
hold them.
I'm buying and holding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the lesson learned. So I'm glad you say that. The network, our goal in the network is to have an investment club. And it's
Hmm.
three of us that really are in the network as titans that know investment. That's you, me, and Kevin. So what do you think about doing a investment club? My vision is maybe get 30 people, put $10,000 in, and then let's go buy.
I'm super excited about that, T, because you know that I really, really want to do a project with others, because, the more the merrier, but they have to be of the same mindset. That's
Correct.
the key. They have to be of the same mindset. And yes, you could do more if you have more people. So
Hmm.
I think it would be a great situation to help teach others how it could be done, not using all your own money and bringing in that partnership so that we can grow together. So I love that. I'm excited about that. That's my thing. I love to buy, I love to
Yeah, I
fix
am
up,
too.
and now I want to hold. And if we
Yep.
hold
You
and
and
we
I
can
are the
rent out,
flippers. You and I are the fixer
I
uppers.
know, I
Yep.
know, I
No,
know.
and that's the
Yeah.
goal. And I agree. I think once we get a certain platform of people, we're going to interview them. Like you said, it's mindset. They have to have the right mindset when you go into real estate. If you're looking for a quick buck, that's probably not what we're looking for. We're looking for some buy and holds, getting that market. This is the perfect time. You're going to find buildings, right, Joe, at almost discounted
Yes.
rates over in the next 2 years.
People are complaining, but let me tell you something. It's always a good time. Who the president is
That's
has
right.
no reflection on what money I'm going to make. Who the governor is, none of
That's
that
right.
matters. We do what we do, and, you keep moving on forward. It doesn't matter. Nothing affects, your income. You affect your income.
There you go. I think you need to say that again. That's one of the gems that you're going to be dropping. You affect your income, right? Say that again
Yes.
because
You
go
affect your
ahead, say it
own
again.
income. If it's going to be, it's up to me. You can't depend on someone being responsible for your pocket. You know, I control my own pocket. So, and that's the way we have to feel together. And that's why I said that I think it's a great opportunity for people if we're able to put together this group to buy property, fix up and hold on as a partnership. We can all grow. We could go far. I'm excited.
That's
I
right.
like doing it by
Exciting.
myself
No, I am
because
too.
I
Look,
don't like
go ahead.
I don't like to answer to anybody, but I'm so open because I'm tired of always using all my own money. So I'm so open to, bringing in partnerships as long as, we're of like mindset. And I'm going to keep saying that because
Yes.
me, T, we have to,
Yes. Oh, but that's part of us evaluating, interviewing, because once we take a lump sum of money, we can't take $5,000 and you think you own a building, right? You can't
thank
come
you.
out of the gate even with $10,000 thinking where you want to update every 5 minutes. It doesn't work that way. So, you
No,
got to be
no. And
willing
then
to let the people who've done it well and got millions of dollars in assets in real estate show you how it's done.
that's true. That's true. So those are the kind of people we want to be involved with. So, I'm just excited about the whole impact that this can make. And I think it's so needed. And I just know that there are many people that want to tap into the knowledge of others. Okay. There's so many people that want to do that. They want to tap into the knowledge of others. And that's one good thing about the people that's on your team is that we're willing to share. That makes me thrive. If you could see the production of someone else based on what you have
Yeah.
shared with them and what you have taught them, and you see that production, that that builds me. It makes me a stronger person because I'm like, wow, that's wonderful. So, yep, I'm super excited.
Well, every one of the Titans I've talked to, they said, Twyla, what's the end state? What are you looking for? Is it sell? You're gonna I said, no, you know what my end state is the moment that we can be in New York on the stage at NASDAQ ringing the bell. Wouldn't that be amazing to
Okay.
turn this app into a actual public traded entity? Here's the one thing
Okay.
that, and Joe and I've talked about this, we've had these conversations, is there is a lot of rooms that you will never get invited to. I don't care how much money you
Hmm.
have. Some of it is our persuasion, is who we are as our gender. Some of it is just the
Hmm.
fact that your ass ain't gonna be welcome because it's a
Right.
closed market. And so
Right.
a lot of people go get these training and they go get all of this what they consider mentorship, but it never moves the needle, right? It never moves the company. I've seen so many women over the last 5 years speaking for Verizon that comes up to me, say, I saw you 3 years ago. I'm like, well, how's your business doing? I couldn't get past the templates. So one of the things I've instructed every one of our Titans is that we don't need to talk. We need to show and we need to do. So it's about homework.
Now
Joe's
I'm with
gonna give
that.
you homework,
I'm
right?
with that.
You're gonna give them homework. This is
Yeah.
yeah, it's about I
It,
don't
it's
want you talking. I don't want them.
Look, as my father used to say to me, it ain't what you talk about, it's what you do about it. So we're ready to do
Right,
something about stuff, and they have to be ready to do something. Like you said, they could get all the knowledge in the world. You have all these college graduates, you have all these people that spend millions of dollars on their education, and they still don't know anything. They still ain't doing anything. Okay, it's not even
right,
about that. It's becoming educated and being accountable for what you have learned. And that's what I like about what we're doing. You're going to be accountable for what you learn so that, yes, we can move the needle, period.
right, right. And we move that needle when we take our collective, the people inside of the league that are working with us, and we ask them, we're going to benchmark you. Here was your revenue before. Here's your
Yes.
revenue after. And actually, here's your net wealth. Because most people forget the last step. They believe in revenue and they say, here's where I started and here's where my income is. My goal is I don't care what your income is. How much did your net wealth move? How much did you
Right.
bring into your fold of legacy? Joe is
Right.
the only one on our platform that is going to be able to address legacy businesses. She's
That's
living
correct.
it. She's transferring a legacy. And she's going to tell you the good, bad, and ugly. I've known Joe for over 20 years and I've heard the good, bad, and ugly. And so she's got gems that she can help you as you're thinking. I talked Joe to a gentleman 2 days ago who told me his mother worked 31 years, had this,
Mm-hmm.
he claimed, beautiful business. She sold it for 200K. Listen to this, 200,000. She sold it for. She's 64. The money is spent, and that's it. Said,
Nothing
you
else.
mean somebody worked for $30,000 only netted 200K? And she goes, yeah. I said, that's a
In
problem.
30 years, you said? 30
Yeah,
years?
30 years.
Yeah. That's too bad because a lot of people think that, oh, well, I don't have any kids. There's more to it than having kids. It's more to it than kids, okay? Whether it's sisters, brothers, cousins, people in your life that you have mentored, and you understand what I'm saying, T, people in your life that you have mentored,
Yes, yes,
they're just like
right.
your kids,
They're like
okay?
family.
There you go. They're just like family. So no matter what it may be, you have a right, an obligation to carry on your knowledge and legacy on what you have learned. It's your responsibility. As long as you're breathing and alive and well, we need to be mentoring people. Okay. Yes, I only have two boys, but you know how many people that I just mentor? So all of that. And so many people that have.
There is no way in hell I could pay $50,000 just to hear somebody tell me things are going to get better. Come up with a plan. Here's a template. No way. No way. We're the Impact League. We're coming after you. We're coming for you. If you're in business and you're serious about your craft, relinquish all those other memberships and get into the league.